All right. Well, we've got a game tonight. We've got a game this evening. We're on Thursday night football yet again, even though we keep disappointing by having terrible, stupid games that we continue to lose. They continue to put us on these night game broadcasts. And so we got another one against the Houston Texanians. So we might as well do a preview and figure out what we got to do against these Texans, which we'll do next.
Did you know that if you click the subscribe button right now, Alan Lazard will receive a lifetime subscription of Stickum Football Adhesive? Click the subscribe button right now so we never have to watch Alan Lazard drop a pass ever again. Please, I am begging you.
You may be saying, well, who's on the Houston Texanians? Anyways, I don't know who's on that team. I don't pay no attention to no Houston Texans. What's this all about? Well, you may remember that their head coach is D'Amico Ryans. D'Amico Ryans. And he is a Robert Saleh protege. Bobby Slowick is the OC. He's getting a lot of head coaching buzz about him. Matt Burke is their defensive coordinator. He used to work for us as our basically a special coach in terms of the clock and all of that. For Saleh, Frank Ross, special teams, and the GM, Nick Caserio. He comes from the Patriots of New England. Now, their offense has taken a few hits. Their top two receivers out for this game. So they're down to Xavier Hutchinson and John Mechie and Tank Dell and all these people. But normally they would have Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins and all these great players. So they're a little bit shaken up with the injuries in terms of wide receivers. And as far as the offensive line is concerned, they have a very solid one. Laramie Tunsil is excellent. Juice Scruggs, okay. Shaq Mason, better than average. Howard, okay. But the one that they're worried about is this one, Kenyon Green. He might be losing his starting position to Kendrick Green. Unbelievably, they got a Kenyon Green and a Kendrick Green, believe it or not. And they play the same position, offensive line, and they're talking about maybe Kendrick Green is going to replace Kenyon, who has not been playing very well at all, even though he was a first-round pick back in 22. Their tight ends, Dalton Schultz is the main one, and he's good at catching the passes. And then they have Stover and Quitoriano. But the main guy here, of course, is C.J. Stroud, and you may want to call the Houston Texans the Stroud Boyz. Or you may not want to. I don't know. But C.J. Stroud, as we all know, has blossomed right before our very eyes, came into the league and played like a house on fire right away. So they hit the lottery with the QB position. They also have good running backs, Joe Mixon and Damian Pierce, and Agunbowale even is very good. So a very good offense, and though they're missing, their top two wide receivers, I would think they're going to target this man a lot more, Dalton Schultz. We shall see. Now, the defense also a little banged up, as you see with the red here. Jimmy Ward not playing. Aziz Al-Shair, he came over from San Francisco, then Tennessee, then this team over here. He's out. But Henry Tua, he's in. Settle, I don't think we know yet. But the main guys to keep in mind, Will Anderson, excelente. And Daniil the Real Deal Hunter, excelente. And old friend Folu Fatukasi, always loved Foley. He's on this team now. Now, on defense, they're the exact same as us, okay? D'Amico Ryans is a Robert Saleh protege, so they run the exact same things we run. 4 down linemen, wide 9, you name it. So we don't really need to spend a lot of time talking about their defense. Now, it may turn out, in fact, that Derek Stingley winds up to be the better of the two, Stingley versus Sauce. We'll have to see. They were taken 3rd and 4th in the draft. The first 2 years looked like it was going to be Sauce. This year, Sauce is playing like he doesn't know what's going on the football field, and Stingley playing better. So it may turn out that Stingley is the one that has a better career after all. You remember down at LSU, he was injured all the time. Well, he hasn't been all that injured with the Texans. So they also have Jalen Petrie, who a lot of us liked coming out of the draft. And they have a lot of injuries, and Christian Harris, even the linebacker, okay. Jerry Hughes, the pass rusher, Nico Collins. These are all significant players for them. Dalton Keene, backup tight end, Brevin Jordan, tight end. And of course, Stephon Diggs just got injured. He's out for the year, ACL. So they have a lot of injuries on this team. But they're still 6-2, and their last game they won against the Indianapolis Colts, which we shall take a look at on film here in a second. So those are the players, but how are these players playing after all? PFF will tell us. So here we are. Here's their offensive grades. You can see Stroud still killing it. And the other top two players, though, are out. Collins, Diggs. Then you got the two running backs playing well. Laramie Tunsil, he is the gas mask, marijuana bong guy from back in the day, if you remember that. Still playing well at an advanced age. Okay, the other tackle playing well, Shaq Mason. So the line's good. And you look down and you go, well, what's the problem? Well, Kendrick Green only has 9 snaps. But Kenyon Green, their main guard here, no bueno. Lots of penalties and a terrible grade. So they're thinking about swapping him out, but they're keeping him in for this game, so says the coach. And you see Dalton Schultz down here. And so their other wide receivers, aren't as highly rated, but they're going to get more experience and snaps now with the top 2 out. So we'll see how they do. So let's take a look at the old defense now. Dooby-doo. Defense. And you see Daniil, the real deal Hunter, right at the top, elite. Will Anderson, right at the top, elite. Look at these pressure numbers, okay? Pressures 36, 37, 6 sacks, 8 sacks. They do it all. Hurries, you name it. They're going to harass the hell out of us. So we're going to have quite a challenge blocking these fellas. These two are monsters. Daniil, the real deal Hunter, you remember him from Minnesota. Will Anderson came right out of the draft from Alabama, and he has been a menace, to say the least. Okay. Jalen Petrie, very highly rated here. Stingley, Stingley is not exactly killing it, but I think he's doing better than old Saucy Sauce. Tua comes back, so that's good. Here's some of their defensive linemen could use a little improvement, in terms of the middle of the line, of course. So those are the defenders. Let's see what else we can find out about this team. They are going to be, let's clear this out of here. They are going to be, like us, as mainly a zone team. They got 118 zone runs versus, 68 gap runs. So they run some gap stuff, but like us, they're mostly a zone running team. So let's take a look at CJ Stroud as far as his passing is concerned. And Stephon Diggs even threw a pass. But you see CJ Stroud here, 66.5%. Excellent. 11 TDs, 4 ints. Excellent. 12 big time throws, pretty good. 7 turnover worthy plays. You'd like to knock that down a bit. And time to throw 2.86, not too bad. I'd like to knock it down a bit, but pretty good. Pretty good. Hard to find something to not like about this team, to be honest with you. If you go down here, Tunsil, good grade on the pass blocking efficiency, as Scruggs. Howard, same thing. Shaq Mason, about average. And then Kenyon Green is the one who's problematic here, 95.5. Similar to us with Tyron Smith, although Kenyon Green does not make $20 million a year. So that's the difference there. So that's who they got. I don't think we need to really look too much at the special teams. Tua is on special teams, okay? So that's who they are and how they've been graded. So now let's go into the film room and see how they look on an actual, football field, which is kind of the whole point of playing football. You do it on a football field, not in a spreadsheet. So here they are in their last game. What I did was I pulled up the intermediate. This is a cut up of all the intermediate passing plays because when it comes to the runs, they're going to do everything that all the other teams do against us. They're going to run middle, A and B gap zone runs against us with duo sometimes, and with all of the things that people do to basically clear out Quinnen and Javon and open up a huge hole in the middle. And we can't figure out that we need people to come up like linebackers and safeties to make tackles. We can't seem to figure that much out, but that's what they're going to do. So there's no real reason to look at their running game. We know pretty much exactly what they're going to do until we stop it. And so I thought I'd take a look at these intermediate passes and see how Mr. Stroud's doing. So here we go against the Colts. So we got a 3-by-1 formation here. We got, it looks like 11 personnel with Schultze right here. So we're going to bunch them. This is Tripp's bunch, right? And we like to use a bunch formation to get some natural picks. These guys don't necessarily know. They're probably playing at banjo, if I had to guess. So they don't know off the bat who they're covering. This guy goes here, so he gets him. So, all right, they cover it pretty well initially. But let's look at Mr. Stroud. Now, one thing you're going to notice about CJ Stroud, he has a nice wide base. I think one of the reasons he's so accurate, and he calls himself the ball placement specialist. He says, I'm not a quarterback, I'm a ball placement specialist. Interesting reframing. One of the reasons he's able to be so accurate, nice wide base keeps your head from bobbing and keeps your whole throwing motion in line. So I like that about him. But he, in this case, manipulates the pocket because everybody's covered. You see the Colts doing a good job so far here. But he's able to just escape enough and get the ball out and say, I got faith in my receiver. And he goes and gets it. So that's a nice play. Nothing was there. They made it work anyway. That was actually 12 personnel there. Oh, no, this is the next play. Why is this going to the next play? Let's try this one. Supposed to give me both angles. What the hell is going on here? Anyways, let's try this one. Now they're in 12 again, or maybe even 13. Yeah, it looks like 13, depending on who 87 is. But incomplete. Now let's see if we get, yeah, okay. Yeah, so it looks like 85, 86, 87. So this is 13 and you throw out of it. So this is something I want the Jets to do. When you're in your jumbo package, this team, the defense, is thinking, okay, they're going to run it with Mixon, right? Let's load the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he's creeping 8. Load the box. 20's creeping because they think it's going to be a run because we got 3 tight ends in here. Put one in motion. You got another guy in the box, really, technically. And you fake it and throw. And now that was not a great decision by Stroud because Mechie was sort of triple covered there. But conceptually, I like it. Now here's 12 personnel. Okay, more of a conventional way of looking at it. That's again, that would be a minus on Stroud. He had a guy wide open, missed him. Even the great quarterbacks miss a play or two occasionally. And this is basically caused by Grover coming in, pressured him, and sped him up a little bit, throws off the mark. And it looks like 11 here. The overload blitz on the right, defensive right, flush him out. Nice job. So that's a nice job by the Colts to flush him out, get him off his spot. But also Stroud did not turn this into a disaster. Notice the overload blitz here. We're going to overload it. All right, and we get through. Okay, but Stroud escapes long enough, gets out of the pocket, throws it away. So live to play another down. Don't make it worse than it needs to be. All right, here we are, 11. Nice. So here's a nice and in rhythm play, and you have one of the better linebackers in the league, Zaire Franklin here, 44 for the Colts. Diagnoses that it's a pass, so then he's going to pick up this slot receiver, which is Schultz, and he can't hang with him. So just take what they give you. Take what they give you. It's nice and easy. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple. 11 personnel again. Looks like get good pressure. Now the question is, can we get good pressure with our stupid linemen and not do a roughing the passer, Mister Clemens? They're not bringing a lot of blitzes here. So one of the things you should watch is, are we going to blitz as much as the Colts seem to be on these passing situations? We don't like to blitz, but our defensive line has not been up to our normal standards, and so we may have to blitz more. Just in general. Again, trips a bunch trips right. Oh, this is the same from before. So that must have been out of sequence earlier, I guess. Don't know why. All right, now we get to see this angle. This is a nice play though, where he's, let's see, 1 foot, 2 foot. Yeah, that should be a touchdown. So he's getting pressured and he's still able to make something out of nothing. So you like to see that out of your quarterback. You give him nothing, he still makes you pay. Give me time, I will make them pay, he says to his offensive line. 11 personnel here, or 12, I think. 80. What's 19? Who's 19? Is that Hutchinson? I don't know. Yeah, that's a wide receiver. So that's 11 then. So we got deep ins. See, they don't rush him. Don't get much pressure. There's enough time. I don't think he caught that. Maybe he did. But again, here's 4 down. So basically, the Colts are playing very similar to what we do. They bring a guy down here. Is he coming? Is he coming? Yes, he is. But he can't. But he gets picked up. So probably green dog in this running back. But they get pressure from the other side. Still able to complete it. Tank Dell, nice job. Oh, this is Leatu Latu, I guess, 97. Guy they got in the draft. They were very excited to get him. Yeah. They didn't block him very well, so that makes it kind of easy. The lady ref says that's a catch. Uh, Here's an interesting formation. We got 11 with the tight end in the backfield. So then but then we release them both. Oh, interesting. And we get pressure on them. But now you got 5 men in the route, and Mechie comes up with it. Good job by Mechie. Number 8. Look at this interesting formation. Let's put Schultz here. Makes you think we're going to max protect, but no, we're going to release them into the pattern. They don't bring extra pressure, but still flush him out. But he does not panic. There's no panic in that kid, by the way. CJ Stroud, you can pressure him, you can do whatever, but no panic whatsoever in his game. Very even keeled. Very slow heartbeat on this kid. This is an interesting formation. Very spread out. Just a simple out then. Into the flat. Nice. Nice and easy. Take what they give you. Nice and easy. So the way they use Schultz is interesting. You can see they move him all around. They use him as a blocker. They use him as a decoy. They use him as a receiver. So he's just sort of a key component to their offense. You can see in here. They're going to move him all around. He'll be in the backfield. He'll be over here. He'll be over there. He'll be everywhere. So there you go. That's the Houston Texans in a nutshell. That's what we got to deal with tonight. So let's hope we got a game plan that can deal with some of that. Let me know what you think about the game tonight in the comment section down below. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much. Please tell somebody about the channel, and I will see you next time.
Did you know that if you subscribe to this channel right now, Mike Williams will receive free lifetime running on the Redline lessons from verified experts in Redline running? Please click the subscribe button now so that the Jets wide receiver can be on the same page with the quarterback once and for all. Please, little button, Redline, big time important. And if you're already subbed, tell a friend.
I see you, Harlan.
I'm sure you've heard the news. Frankie from Flatbush strikes again. And boy, am I ticked off. Per your stupid instructions, I tried to compromise Frankie from Flatbush. But no, he's way too cool or something. Seriously, how does he do it? Every time I think I've got him, he just slips away like a greased up squirrel on a water slide. I mean, who defeats a plan with a single eyebrow raise? Frankie, that's who. And don't get me started on his I know something you don't smirk. It's infuriating. I set up traps, laid out the perfect scheme, even wore my lucky sabotage socks. And yet here I am, ranting to you fine folks, while Frankie's probably out there sipping an espresso and planning his next move. Just once, I'd like to see him trip on a banana peel or get stuck in traffic. But no, Frankie from Flatbush is apparently unstoppable. So here's to you, Frankie. May your coolness and annoying invincibility continue to drive me completely bananas. Until next time, drama lovers, stay tuned.